So Babbel is a language learning app that's been around for a while, and it's known for helping people actually learn to speak a new language in a simple and effective way. I actually started using Babbel because I had a trip planned to Paris, and I wanted to be able to say more than just bonjour. So at first, I tried using free apps and watching YouTube videos, but I needed something more structured, something that would actually teach me how to hold a conversation, not just memorize words. So that's when I decided to give Babbel a try. And after using it on and off for about a year, I've got a pretty good idea of how it works, what I liked about it, what could be better, and most importantly, whether or not it actually helped me learn French. So in this video, I'm going to go over my full experience with Babbel, including how the app works, the lesson structure, pricing, and what kind of results you can expect. That said, let's get right into it. So first I want to talk about what Babbel is. Babbel launched in 2007 and is designed to make learning a new language simple and effective. It's a platform that helps you improve your reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills in a structured and straightforward way. They offer lessons in 13 different languages, like Spanish, French, German, and Italian, and even some less common ones like Swedish or Turkish. What's cool is that the lessons are tailored to your native language, so everything feels more customized. That said, they don't have every single language, so it's worth checking what's available before signing up. But overall, it's built by real language experts, and the lessons are designed to be practical and easy to follow. Okay, so let's talk about how Babbel actually works to help you learn a new language and my experience using it for the past year. Well, the first step is going to be signing up and choosing one of their plans. And by the way, I just wanted to point out that if you're interested in checking out Babbel, I've left a discounted affiliate link in the description down below, so you can get a better deal than going directly to their website. Then, once you're signed up, you'll download the Babbel app, which works on your phone, tablet, or computer, and it's available on both iOS and Android devices, so it's super easy to use no matter what device you're on. I personally really liked how simple it was to get started. It's not overwhelming at all, and you can basically jump right into your first lesson. Once everything is set up, the next step is choosing the language that you want to learn. I went with French, and right away, Babbel asks you a few quick questions to figure out what level you're at, like whether you're starting from scratch or just looking to improve on a language that you already know the basics of. I really liked that because it made everything feel a bit more customized. I mean, I barely knew any French aside from saying bonjour, so it was nice that the app didn't just throw me into stuff I wasn't ready for. It actually adjusted the lessons to match my level, which made it way less overwhelming to start. And once you're ready to start, you'll see that the lessons are broken up into short sessions, usually around 10 to 15 minutes each, making it easy to fit into your day, even if you've got a very busy schedule. Now, if you're wondering how long it'll take you to actually learn something, it really depends on your goal. If you're just trying to pick up the basics for a trip, like key phrases or how to ask for directions, you can definitely get there in about a month or so. But if your goal is to speak fluently or use the language for work, then you'll need to stick with it for a bit longer, probably around 3 to 6 months of consistent practice, give or take. Everyone's pace is different, so just take it one step at a time. Now, the lessons focus on things like vocabulary, grammar, and practice speaking. This way, you're not just memorizing the words, you're actually learning how to use them in real-life situations. For example, you'll learn how to ask for directions, talk to a cashier, order food, or even explain where you're going in a taxi. One of the lessons I took actually taught me how to tell the driver that I wanted to go to the hotel near the Eiffel Tower. And when he actually understood me, I was very proud of myself. I mean, it just felt amazing to communicate clearly without relying on Google Translate. And of course, it's also helpful if you're traveling for business and need to learn a new language, and is a great place where you could practice phrases for work, like introducing yourself in a meeting, giving a presentation, or even writing emails. On top of that, Babbel has some really helpful tools. Like they have this review tool, which uses something called spaced repetition, which just means it knows when you're about to forget something and reminds you to go over it again. For me, I kept forgetting how to ask where the bathroom was, which is kind of important when you're traveling. I mean, I personally need the bathroom all the time. And just when I was about to forget it again, Babbel popped up with a little reminder to review it. And after going over it a few more times, it finally stuck. So if you're like me and need a bit of extra repetition for things to really sink in, that tool definitely comes in handy. Another great feature is the live classes, where you can either join a small group of up to 6 people or do a private one-on-one session with a real teacher. And the classes are about an hour long, and they do cost extra, but it depends on what plan you go with. If you just want group classes, it's around $100 a month, and if you want the private one-on-one sessions, it starts at about $150. So it's definitely more of an investment, but if you're serious about learning and want some real-time feedback, it can totally be worth it. These classes are a great way to practice real conversations and get feedback in the moment. While I haven't personally tried the live classes myself, I've seen a bunch of reviews on Trustpilot from people who've said that it really helped them feel more confident speaking. A lot of them mentioned that it made a big difference with overcoming that fear of making mistakes out loud. So if speaking is the part that stresses you out the most, like it does for a lot of us, this might be a really good option to help you get that extra practice in a more interactive, low-pressure way. Lastly, one feature I found very helpful is the speech recognition tool. It listens to how you pronounce words and sentences and compares them to the correct pronunciation. And if you don't get it quite right, it gives you feedback right away and lets you try again. I will say though that some words definitely took me a few tries to get them right. Like at first, I just couldn't pronounce certain words, but the feedback definitely helped me feel more confident over time. Alright, so that's all well and good, but how much does it cost? Babbel has a few subscription options to choose from, so you can pick the one that best fits your needs. If you're just starting out and want to see if Babbel is the right option for you, there's the 1-month plan for around $18. Then for something longer, there's the 3-month plan, which lowers the monthly cost to about $15, and the 6-month plan lowers it even more to around $13 per month. Now, if you're serious about learning a new language and ready to commit, the 12-month plan is a great choice at just $9 per month, offering great value for long-term learners. But if you're looking for the best value plan that Babbel offers, the lifetime plan is the perfect choice for a one-time payment of around $300, and it gives you unlimited access to all of their languages forever, without any monthly fees or renewals. Also, all these subscriptions come with a 20-day money-back guarantee, so if it doesn't feel like the right choice for you, you can cancel it within 20 days and get a full refund. And again, if at this point you're considering trying Babbel out, I'll include a discounted link in the description down below that'll get you a discount that you wouldn't be able to get by going directly to their website. Alright, so even though I really like Babbel and think it's a great option for learning a new language, just like anything, there are a few things to keep in mind. For example, I noticed that the lessons can feel a bit repetitive, like you'll go over the same words and phrases quite a few times. And I get that it's meant to help you remember things better long term, which it actually does. But if you're someone who likes a lot of variety, it might feel a bit slow at first. I remember thinking, okay, I've already seen this sentence like a few times, but later when I was actually in Paris and needed to use those phrases, it just came out naturally. So that repetition might seem a bit much, but it really does help things stick at the end of the day. Another small thing is the voice recognition tool. For the most part, it works really well, but there were a couple of times where I was pretty sure I said something right, and it still marked it as wrong. Not a huge deal, it usually got it right after a second try, but it's just something to keep in mind. That said, it actually helped me improve my pronunciation a lot over time, especially with words I was struggling with. So overall, I'd say it's a really helpful tool. So the big question is, would I recommend Babbel? Absolutely. After using Babbel on and off for the past year, I can say it really does help. If you stay consistent with it, you'll definitely start to see progress, whether you're starting from zero or just trying to get better with a language you learned in the past. Babbel really gives you what you need to actually get better. It keeps things simple and doable, and that made it way easier for me to stick with it. Also, what I really like is how practical the lessons are. You're not just memorizing random words, you're learning how to communicate in real-life situations. And for me, it made a huge difference. I felt so much more comfortable on my trip. I mean, just being able to order food or ask for directions without pulling out my phone for Google Translate every 2 seconds. So if your goal is to actually use the language you're learning, whether it's for travel, work, or just for fun, Babbel is definitely worth checking out. Especially if you're looking for something that's easy to follow, well organized, and actually helps you feel more confident using the language. And just to remind you one more time, if you're interested in giving Babbel a try, I'll drop my discounted link in the description down below that'll get you a discount that you wouldn't be able to get by going directly to their website. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you found this review helpful. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this one. And of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.